My name is Chris Graham. I'm the Managing Director and owner of CNG Design. I've been in the kitchen and bathroom industry for about 22 years. So when I left school, I joined the army. Knew I didn't want to do that as a career. Came out of it, got into the sales industry, and then started getting my way through the kitchen and bathroom design selling. So I've worked for various different companies over the years. I've always wanted to have my own. So coming up, this is the 10th year in business for my own now. I moved to Laurencekirk in the June, wandered up the high street in November and noticed there was an empty shop, and I thought I could possibly make a go of it. So spoke to the landlord, measured up the space, came up with a design that I thought suited the space available, and never looked back. Yeah, I mean, it didn't feel a gamble at the time because I was confident that I could make it work, having worked for different people, seen how they had done it, had done things well, the possible mistakes that they were making and had made, and I thought, well, I could maybe try and do the good bits, that they were doing, and maybe try and do a little bit more, a little bit better. So, yeah, I mean, it's been good. The first sort of 2-3 years I did it myself, so I didn't have any staff, didn't have any help. I was doing the designing, the selling, the delivering, the picking up the rubbish, and then I got to the stage where I thought this is just too much. So I started employing folk, and now we've got 6 guys on the books, which is great. It's a big accomplishment for me to have, being able to employ local folk as well. It's always been on my mind, especially since coming out of COVID, that we had kind of outgrown the small space we were in. Originally, back in COVID, I wanted to try and purchase the shop that I was in, and then it came about that wasn't going to be possible. And then speaking to Andy and Karen, who used to own the shop, they were coming to the end of their sort of time as wanting to have such a big space. They were wanting to downsize and change their lives a little bit. So yeah, we managed to be good in a good enough position that we had the funds to do the deposit to buy the place, and to have a shop that's probably 8 times bigger than the one we had was a huge excitement for us. Being able to display a lot more product, to have more space for folk to come in. It was really small up the road, so the only people that came in was because they had to come in, because they wanted to make an appointment or such, like, where people now just wander in because they want to be nosy and just have a look at what we've done, which is great. So yeah, I'm really chuffed we've made the move. It's been a stressful move, don't get me wrong. The way the energy prices and things are at the moment, it's been a big culture shock that way, but it's all worth it. My advice would be, if you've got a passion to do something and a want to do something, then do it. But especially just now, research is key, I think. I think it's easy to start a business, but it's very difficult to maintain one. There is so many pitfalls that you might not consider. So costs for one. You've got to try and understand what the customer wants. Is there a need for the product that you want to sell? Because if there is, then great, you're on a good start. Whereas you could think of a good idea, what you think's a good idea, but there might just not be that want for it in the village or town where you're at. My advice would be, I think I said to yourself back in the day, would be to take every free advice you can get. So the government gateway, the business gateway was great for me. I think I said to you, if you learn one thing from each meeting that you go to me it was worth it. You're giving up an hour and a half of your time, but if you learn one thing that you didn't know that could take you forward and do you well, then it's worth it. Pressure or any negativity that you might have felt or might have been spoken to you, I took it personal, which you can't do. You're running a business, so if someone's got an issue with the business, or an issue with something that the business has done, or whatever the case may be, it's to do with the business, it's not to do with your individual. But that's taking pride in what you do, and there's a fine balance of, not being bothered about it, and then there's a fine balance about caring about it too much. So yeah, I would. It's a learning curve, put it that way.